Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Getting around to a video on the Guardian Tactical Recon 035. Actually picked this one up before Blade Show, but things have been crazy, so getting to the video a couple weeks post Blade Show here. But this is an out-the-front automatic knife. We'll just call it an OTF for short, as most people do. And Guardian Tactical is an American-made company, family-owned, under the radar for the most part. I think they're really starting to pick up traction these days, though, so perhaps you guys have heard of them, perhaps not. They make certain knives such as like this Konix here, which unfortunately is discontinued for the time being. The Helix Nano is perhaps one you guys have seen. And another one that they actually manufacture is the Ratworks MRX chain drive automatic knife. So perhaps you guys have seen this one on various channels over the years, but they actually manufacture these for Ratworks. So anyways, been around for a couple years. I've always liked them. Let's get into this knife. Here's what it ships with, just a cardboard box, nothing crazy. Foam inserts, limited lifetime warranty card that has a phone number, an email address, and a website, and it just talks about the warranty and repairs, and if you need to send it in, all that good stuff. So, alright, let's take a look at it in a bit more detail. But there are a couple things that make this knife for me really interesting as compared to other out-the-front automatics. And we'll talk about those, and it really has to do with the pending patents on this knife. But spec-wise, let's pull out the usual suspects. We've got the Kershaw Dividend in S35 yen. And then we've got the Para 2 with the Flytanium scales. So those are my norms here. So I mean, size-wise, it's pretty close with the Dividend. It's smaller than the Para 2. But blade length is about 3.37-ish. Handle length is about 4.3. Overall, about 7.75 inches long. The handle width is about 1 inch. So, you know, when it's in your pocket, it's about 1 inch wide, and it's about ½ an inch thick at 0.48 inches. The blade thickness, 0.14. Let's put it next to the Para here, which I think is in line with the Para if I recall. But the thickness behind the edge is 0.03 inches. Thickness behind the edge of a Para 2 is 0.025 inches. So a little bit thicker behind the edge than a Para 2. This one is the two-tone version, done in KG gun coat, and then satin flats. Handles are aluminum with a Type 3 hard anodize. We'll talk about this hardware in a little bit, and then I think it's just a standard stainless steel pocket clip. I don't think it's titanium, but yeah, stainless steel. Alright, so that is this knife for the most part. Weighs in at 3.8 ounces on my scale, and these retail for about $280 at retailers. So again, new release for 2018. So alright, let's talk about it in detail then. So a couple things on this one. Again, KG gun coat. I've had it on some of their other knives. Holds up very, very well. Blade steel CPM 154, which was marked, oh yeah, just right here. So, and on this one they removed, actually on most of their knives, generally they have, you know, like when it was manufactured and the model name and the steel and everything right on the front. On this one they've just designated the steel, so the model numbers on the pocket clip. A little bit nicer, keeps it a little bit cleaner, simpler, looks classier, I guess. But anyways, so again, a standard construction as far as out the front automatics go with aluminum. These ones have what is it, bead blasted Torx hardware. Got the normal pocket clip. Now this right here, the KG or the aluminum, I'm sorry, the Type 3 hard anodize isn't scratched. Basically, this got rubbed up against an aluminum fence at some point, and basically the aluminum kind of embedded itself in the hard anodize. So I don't really care. I mean, this isn't a safe queen by any means, but action on this thing is nice and snappy. really solid, really smooth. It's fairly sturdy as compared to most out the front automatics. You know, again, the only one that's completely rock solid is the Grant and Gavin Hawk Deadlock, but way different price point than this one, of course. So, button's got some nice serrations. I find it easy to actuate. It's not difficult by any means. But let's talk about the patent pending stuff on this, because that's really what I think is the most interesting here. So, model number. These are functional, nice and grippy. But again, patent pending. So, one thing that is patent pending we're looking at right here, and this is a hardened stainless steel insert that the button rides across. So on most out the front automatics, it rides directly on the aluminum and the hard anodize, and over time you're going to wear away, you know, the coating on the aluminum, and then you'll just be running on straight aluminum, which, you know, is probably going to affect it negatively in some way down the line. So again, perhaps a theoretical issue, but I'm sure there are people who've had their out the front automatics for long enough to where they've run into problems. But you know, regardless of which, that has been remedied by this hardened stainless steel lock, or I'm sorry, not lock insert, but just button insert. So this button here is actually made of 313 stainless steel, which is a non-magnetic steel, and he did that on purpose to try to keep debris and things from, you know, basically sticking to the button or getting underneath the button because of the magnetic pull, which again, over the top, maybe unnecessary, but I dig it. And then this button actually has 3 ceramic detent balls that ride on this hardened stainless steel. So, you know, if I'm going to go ahead and disengage this thing, it's actually really, really smooth, and perhaps, I'm sure it's not being conveyed well, but yeah, it's just really smooth with the ceramic detent balls riding on the hardened stainless steel thing. So anyways, just nicer, feels nicer, should be more wear resistant. So, you know, from a tactile standpoint, it's a benefit, and then from a longevity standpoint, it's a benefit. So, all right. That engaged it. All right. The other pending patent is the fact that this blade is actually free floating, and don't ask me to get into really any more detail than that, but essentially the blade it's not making contact with the internals. There's nothing riding against it. If we take a look at this other one that I borrowed from a friend here locally, you guys will see scratch marks all the way down the blade. And that's because it is making contact with the internal locking mechanism, as far as I understand. So, you know, just scratches the blade up. You know, again, over time, maybe that'll be a problem, maybe not, but it's just, this is a better design, essentially. So, let's see, was this one, did this one have scratch marks? Yeah, you guys can see the scratch marks all over this one too, making contact with the internal locking system. So, anyways, that, yeah, this one's got a lot of scratch marks. But regardless of which, you know, again, are these other two gonna fail at some point? Doubtful, but again, an improved overall design. So that's the Recon 035. Those are the pending patents on it. The improvements that Andy over at Guardian Tactical has implemented into his design. And the first run of these actually went to Blade HQ. It was a launch with them. They're completely sold out. They're waiting for more knives to come in, but I mean, it's been quite popular right out the gate, and rightly so. It's got nice ergonomics. This one is a little bit smaller, so, you know, on a lot of out the fronts, I always like to try to get my finger behind the button here as, I don't know, kind of a traction point. This one's a little bit small, but, you know, again, it's not really a big deal. If the blade fails in stabbing tests, it's just going back in the handle. It's not like it's going to fold onto my fingers like a folding knife, so I think it's fine in that regard. I asked Guardian Tactical if they'd done any stabbing tests with this, because I don't really want to, you know, shove it into 2x4s. And they said that they did with a couple knives. They went out, they did some stabbing tests into, you know, large pieces of wood as hard as they could, and there was no internal damage. So they're pretty confident this thing is going to hold up to normal and even aggressive use. But if you're trying to break it, you probably could, as all things in life. So, All right, I guess we'll go ahead and leave it there. That's the Recon 035 from Guardian Tactical. One of their, really cool American-made knives to follow suit with the rest of them. So, comments or questions, let me know. I guess keep your eye on retailers and may want to jump on them quick because they all sold out last time. So, thanks so much for watching, guys. You can follow me on Instagram if you like more daily content and many more videos to come. See ya.